Hey, my name's Chad. On this channel we like to make stuff, and I bought a new property, and I also bought a used flatbed trailer, which I'm going to need for an upcoming purchase for the new property. So it's going to need a little bit of work. The new decking is getting replaced right now. A lot of these boards are rotted out. So one thing that the used trailer came with were 4 of these planks that I can use to replace. I'm going to need some more though. So right now I'm just going to rip up all the old decking, go completely new. I'm going to check out the wiring underneath and make sure that's all secure, and we'll head to Lowe's and get some new boards and hopefully have a new trailer deck by the end of the day. Alright, so let's talk about what we reveal once we got the old decking off. Let's go over the wiring first. So I already know all the lights are working, which tells me that the wiring is good. However, when I pulled up the decking, I found that there was nothing protecting the wiring from rubbing against the steel frame and underneath the board. So you see we got some wear going on here and some crushing. That's definitely not the ideal solution. And yeah, I don't know, I gotta test some of these out and make sure everything is working right. Might have to do some rewiring. I definitely want to see what my options are for properly running this wiring, maybe underneath or through the frame itself. And you got this one back here that goes across the other side, just kind of hanging loose. You know, that can catch on anything as you go over the road. See, here's a proper wire hanger right here. I'm gonna see if I can find some more of something like that to do the rest of the wiring. So this might be a project that's going to take a little longer than I thought it would. More than just redecking the whole okay, this is a green wire, it's probably a ground wire, and you see that's pinched. So let's talk about the frame itself. You've got a lot of rust, but no more than you'd expect to find. But you got a lot of metal left here, so it's all sturdy and stable. I noticed right here, this is the front of the 2 axles, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's bent right in the middle. It hasn't affected the way the wheels are turning, I noticed, and the whole thing, the whole trailer tracks really straight. Then on the back here, I believe we might have a little twist in the frame in the back. You can see it's taken some abuse here. These right here are the racks for the ramps to slide into and be stored there. And you can see right here how it looks like the trailer hit the ground at some point and bent the whole thing up. If you look here, there's supposed to be a gap here enough to take the ramp and allow it to be slid in. So that doesn't really affect the frame at all. It just affects the fact that I can't store the ramps where they belong. And it's the same on both sides. And the last thing I have to do before I put the decking back on is to grind off the old screws so I can set the deck boards on flat. I had to run off to a store for a supply run to get these wire retainer clips along with the self-tapping screws so I can drill right into steel and properly hang these wires. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and unhook these wires from the light and bring them underneath the trailer and find where I'm going to attach them to the frame themselves. All right, good morning. It's next day, obviously. So yesterday I got the wiring rerouted. Day got cut short though because I had to go into town for rehearsal. Let's just take a look at where we're at, and then we're going to start hanging these wires with these new clips. So all the wiring now goes underneath the frame and up over the axles right there. I still need to fire up the truck and test the lighting, make sure all the wiring's good. Back here there's already clips, so I went ahead and put them back in the clips and did that little loop to hold the wire in place. Same thing on the other side, wires under the frame over the axles. So let's get these tested out. Well, that light just flickered out. This one is blinking because the four-ways are on. So I need to see what's going on with this. Loose wiring, I don't know. Got a short. Let's investigate. That's good. Now I've just determined that the side marker light on the right front is bad. I verified that the bulb is okay by testing it on the working side. So that tells me we've got a wiring problem, so I guess let's investigate into that. Change of plans. I went to the parts store and got a whole new wiring kit with new lights, new taillights, new marker lights, and all new wiring. We're gonna start over and do this fresh and do it right, make sure everything works properly from the start. Time to pull all the wiring and the lighting. You know what? Now that I've got this all stripped down, no wiring, no boards, I'm going to go over this with a wire brush and give it a shot of paint from a rattle can. Well, that was sufficiently messy. Got covered with rust dust, but I got it all ground down. Now I could definitely spend about 3 days doing this job, and I still need to do about 3 more days. But I just wanted to get all the big corroded metal flakes off of it, and the old paint, so I can put a fresh coat of spray paint on there. And have a nice rebuild look. And so I got a little case of 6 cans of gloss black spray paint. I'll probably need at least 6 more. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But this is going to be the fun part. And that, my friends, is how to properly rebuild a trailer frame. And now it's finally time to get to the lights.
The Biden administration made a commitment that Congress is
All right, all new wiring and lighting is done. Check. Okay, so now I got that done. We're going to go ahead and put the deck back on. I've got 4 boards that came with the trailer, and I got to go buy 5 more to complete the job. And oh yes, I've got a set of fenders on the way from Amazon. Those should be here today or tomorrow. Those need to get welded on. I need to find a welder, and those will also need to get painted. Thinking about painting them red like the truck. That'd be kind of cool, right? Alright, so the way this works is there's a channel that goes here that takes each end of the board, and then there's also a similar one down here at the opposite tail end. However, the board is just a little bit long, so if we cut it right here, that's exactly how long we need. However, we want a single board to go in, and we need to be able to flex it just enough that it's going to slip in this end without having to do it in 2 pieces. So we're going to first cut it about somewhere right here and test that out, see what we got for length. It's gonna have to flex a lot. I still got about 1 inch to clear here, so how to do that? So I think I figured out a solution. What I'm gonna have to do is cut this even, making sure that the other end of the board is fully seated in its channel. I'm gonna cut this even with this channel, and then I'm gonna have to put some kind of a spacer in here so that the board doesn't slide all the way to the back of the channel here and free up the other end. So cut it even, add a spacer, drop it straight in, and slide it back halfway. That way there's a little bit of this board and there's a little bit of this side of the board and a little bit of the other side of the board secured under each of its own channel. Matter of fact, I can use this as the spacer itself. Stick it right in there. That's gonna work perfectly. It's in. Okay, four boards are placed. I'm going to now screw them in with these self-tapping screws, which punch into metal and then lock on into the with the threads. I'm going to include a washer to make the head a little wider and increase the longevity of the screw around any future potential rotting wood. So I'm going to go ahead and lock these down. After this, I'm going to head over to Lowe's and buy 4 more of the 2x10s and 1 2x6, and that should complete the whole deck. Problem: the screws are not long enough for the threads to reach the steel in order to get that grip. So it's going to make a little bit more work. I can still use these screws. They were the longest ones at the store. Means I don't have any other options. So I'm going to have to sink a larger bit about halfway through my board so I can get more depth with the self-tapping screw. Dang it. Alright, the new deck is on. It's installed, ready to go, and I got my new set of fenders. So these are just steel right now. I still need to find somebody to weld them on, but in the meantime I can go ahead and paint these up, and we'll start with the primer coat. And oh yes, we are going to try to color match the truck as close as we can on the fenders. I think that'll look pretty cool.